business. That's called that's called the right representation of the business opportunity. Health Canada wants that you have somebody to attend your toll-free number, our toll-free number, in a case of a recall. So you need to submit every bit of information in order to come in good compliance for agri-food commodities. Value-added commodities are imported into Canada to great extent. For cosmetics, we have a procedure called CNF number, cosmetic notification form number. For natural products, we have a policy called NPN, natural health, and NPN, natural product number. And for pharmaceuticals and active ingredients, we have a policy called DIN number. DIN number procedure is quite lengthy. I don't think anybody is here from hard to biotech sectors. I will not touch upon more to that. But pharmaceutical is a long road. NPN is relatively a shorter procedure. Agri-food is the shortest among this all, for a reason that Canada is not a favorable bioclimatic region. We have to depend upon importing products into Canada in order to cater day-to-day requirement. However, Health Canada has come up with a resolution that every product coming into Canada needs to be submitted to Health Canada, and based on the submission, they will decide whether the product has a status called an exempted status or non-exempted status. That's where we, as a proxy business partner, as a BPO, business process outsourcing lead for any Indian company comes in the picture. Unless we are not, yes, please.
How will it take time to conduct this process for doing NPA number?
For NPA number, if everything is in place, it takes six months to 18 months. For exempted and non-exempted status, it takes 3 to 6 months. If everything is in place. But let me tell you very honestly, when I deal with the Indian business entrepreneur, they always lack the documents to be submitted to. They find very hard to understand typical jargon. The phrase called, there was a party from Gujarat. I say that I am going to be your designated party. Unless you do not designate me, I cannot represent your interests by law in Canada. And they conceive that by designating a party, we are trying to monopolize or overshadow the business. That's not the situation here. You can continue to change designated party. It's your discretion. But when you engage a party, you need to sign a form called a designated party at Canada, right? People find very hard to understand typical jargon to deal with Health Canada. For that reason, I requested this meeting, that you see me, who am I? And there is no replacement of replacement in present time, with video conferencing and everything, to have a man-to-man touch and to have a handshake and to get to know each other well, right? So, I urge you to refer to the website of Health Canada, NPA. All these details are available. If the forms are properly filled in, it takes 3 to 6 months of time. Health Canada does not recommend, does not advise to engage a consultant. It's prerogative of the exporter to engage the consultant or an expert to that part of the world. However, Health Canada does emphasize, it's stated on the website, does emphasize to keep an individual and protect the interest in a situation of crisis or recall. If that doesn't happen, then the legal fatalities will be severe and it will be punishable by law. Most of the time, we have had to deal with the Indian entrepreneurs trying to bring products into Canada through non-legitimate route, and that's where we have had to bail them out. And the sad part of the procedure is, after having bailed them out, still they do not pay due attention to the compliance procedure. That's where, the sad part comes in the picture. I strongly recommend every entrepreneur to take legitimate route as Health Canada wants to ensure the security and safety of every Canadian citizen residing in Canada, right? And they want to see that everything coming from the border has a value and it's legitimate. It does not have contamination. They are always open to listening to the exporter. It's not a harsh body. They are very open, very truthful, very well governed federal mechanism. Okay, they do not be ruthless. They give enough time, even if in a situation, if they put restrictions to export your product, they give you enough time, notice to feed your face, to put forward the details, right, before they go extreme harsh, right? And the entire federal mechanism work hand in hand. If you are not in good compliance with Health Canada, trust you me, ladies and gentlemen, that Revenue Canada will not look at your company favorably, neither Canada Border Agency. Right? We had a situation where the consignment of aloe vera was stuck at the border, and my compliance officer just wrote an email, and an entire shipment was released based on our pre-market approval submission made to Health Canada. So they are ready to listen to the customer, to the exporter. We closely work with FedEx, UPS, and DHL to bail out the shipments when they do not have technical expertise while dealing with importers into Canada. They do come to NPAFInc, and we help them to interpret the commodity export-import, and we help them not to have a legal situation into Canada, right? Once it takes the legal tangent, then we just back off. We do not involve. And I'm very proud to make a statement that in the last 5 years of our existence, we do not have a single case where we had to go to represent the business interest in the law for Act Canada. We always build them out gracefully, and right from the beginning, we follow the paper trail so meticulously that our exporter does not encounter a precarious situation at the time of entering into Canada, right? So we, as I stated before, we mainly practice into life science biotechnology. Total goodwill of NPAFInc is 4,200 biotech experts, well spread globally into 26 nations. We use LinkedIn as a primary source to attract customers. We also monitor Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media for biotech companies. You will think that, oh, Facebook is just a Facebook, it's a chatting tool. Don't get me wrong, it's not so nowadays. Doctors do not have time to read the prescription and to read the promotional material. Facebook has become the ultimate business tool of the present time. Facebook page is being used to develop the brand value, and this social media are very, very strictly governed in Canada. It's so sensitive that companies need to hire the professionals, those who understand the language of FDA compliance before putting a blog on Facebook. It's not like, in India also nowadays legal issues started happening, but you cannot make inflated and exaggerated claim over social media. That's where we help companies not to make the posting. Posting can be made by a boy of the age of 8 or 10, but we ensure that